Fancy building, great location, always empty. Why? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna head down to Egypt today to talk about what may be the most haunted building in the world. This is the Roushdy building. It's a modern high-rise right on the Mediterranean coast in Alexandria, and it looks like the perfect place to live. You can see the apartments are huge and luxurious, probably with a view that would kill anyone who lives there. Yet this building has sat mostly vacant for decades, despite the fact that it was only completed in 2004. What is going on here? Well, we can look at the history of the building to find out. When the building was finished, it was seen as a shining jewel in Alexandria, a beacon of modernity and luxury. But nearly as soon as construction was finished, workers reported strange things happening on site, which led them to abandon the building. Strange occurrences included items of furniture moving around by themselves and disembodied voices whispering throughout the halls. According to some accounts, the apparition of a woman could even be seen walking the halls. These stories might have just been enough to scare away the workers, but the next story is where things get really strange. A group of children were reportedly playing hide-and-seek in the building one day when one of them disappeared. No one knows what happened to the boy, and his body has never been recovered. So let's fast forward a bit. The building had been sitting empty for a few years at this point, but that didn't stop a new owner from trying to make a go of it. They brought in a priest to bless the building and attempt an exorcism of whatever evil spirit may have been haunting the place. But as he began to pray, he started to feel ill and eventually fainted. He was carried outside and revived, but never went back inside the building. To this day, that priest refuses to talk about what happened to him in the building, or even set foot near it. And you would probably do the same if what happened to him was actually true. Let's fast forward again. A few more years passed, and finally, the building was able to secure a few tenants. But after a few months, they too had to abandon their apartments. According to reports, the tenants claimed that blood was dripping down the walls and mirrors in the building, and that whenever they looked into them, they saw their own blood-soaked reflections. That kind of imagery would probably drive anyone crazy. But these people couldn't handle it any longer and left in mass. At this point, the building had been deemed cursed and was avoided at all costs. But in 2013, a journalist decided to stay in the building overnight and see if the curse was real. He brought a camera crew along with him, and they set up shop on the 14th floor. Here's the footage they captured. At first, nothing appears to happen. There's a brief moment where you can hear what sounds like footsteps coming from another room. Then a door opens and closes on its own. If this is fake, then whoever edited this video did a great job, because the door does appear to open and close on its own without any trickery. They then move into the living room and continue recording. For a while, nothing happens until suddenly the lights begin to flicker rapidly. Is this proof of a haunting? I don't know. Lights flickering has been blamed on everything from ghosts to electrical problems. And since this is an abandoned building, the electricity hasn't been turned on in a long time. The answer might just be that the wiring in the building is old and unstable. But then how would you explain this clip? While the crew is recording, a glass cabinet door opens by itself. Now, if you want to pretend that this is fake, I suppose you could say that someone opened the door off camera and then hid. But then why would they keep filming instead of running away? And if it was a prank, why not play it safe and turn the lights on before opening the door? That way it wouldn't be so dark and there would be no chance of an actual ghost showing up. As the crew runs away, a shower turns on downstairs. Apparently, no one is supposed to have access to the lower floors. So once again, we're faced with the reality that this building is cursed. Or maybe there's another explanation. Let's think about this for a second. We've heard many stories of people who were in haunted locations doing research or trying to capture evidence of paranormal activity, only to have something actually show up on their camera. Does this mean that the haunted object in this case, the building, is sentient and feeds off our belief in it. Maybe it senses fear and excitement and uses it to grow stronger and reveal itself. Or maybe it doesn't care at all about us and our beliefs and is simply just malevolent. I'm not sure which is worse. The last clip from this night is probably the most compelling evidence of a haunting. While walking into an empty apartment, one of the crew members gets into the elevator. When the doors open, they step out and begin talking to someone off camera. Suddenly, the television behind them turns itself on, and the camera picks up a faint figure standing in the elevator. Since the door had just opened, it should be empty, but that doesn't appear to be the case. There's definitely someone or something standing inside the elevator. Is this a ghost? Well, the camera can definitely see something and there's no one else in the room. It could be argued that this is a trick of the light or a person who snuck into the building to play a prank, except the camera also picked up the figure's feet and they were not touching the floor. Whatever the case, this video shook the internet and the world of paranormal investigation to its core. After the video was released, it was impossible to deny that the building was haunted. After all, who could possibly explain this? Well, actually, the director of the video explained it. It turns out that the entire video was staged by him and his friends. He said that he used remote-controlled devices to make the cabinet and door open by themselves, and that he had an accomplice hiding in the apartment for every single scene. He admitted that it was not the best plan in the world, and that he probably won't try to fool people like that again. That being said, you can't prove that this building isn't haunted. So, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen on camera? Let me know in the comments below and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We have plenty more videos to watch. Now let's get back to the video. After the hoax was revealed, the building still stood empty. Perhaps whoever owned the building at the time wanted to give it some time before trying to sell it again. Or perhaps they realized that it was truly cursed and simply abandoned it. Whatever the reason, it remained empty for the next few years. In 2017, it was bought by a new developer who had big plans for it. They said that they intended to restore the building and turn it into a luxury hotel. Unfortunately, work has progressed very slowly, and as of 2021, it's still nothing more than a crumbling ruin. The developer claims that he intends to finish the project eventually, but many locals believe that he'll never go through with it. They say that the curse of the Roushdy building is far too strong and that anyone who tries to use it for their own gain will suffer terrible misfortune. Could this be true? We don't know. But we do know that the building remains abandoned and empty to this day. What do you think is going on here? Is the building cursed, or are the stories of hauntings just a myth spread by those who want to buy it for cheap? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We have plenty more videos to watch. The building still stands in Alexandria, waiting patiently for the day it can finally be used. But until that day comes, it watches over the city from afar, waiting for someone to come and unlock its secrets. And if you're ever in Alexandria and you see a tall building overlooking the sea, don't go any closer. Just run away as fast as you can.